Extended sale alert! Hooray! An extension offer to the ongoing London promotional fairs. You asked, we listened. Save over 600,000 naira on your London trip with Airpeace when you connect from our major domestic destinations to London at no extra cost and enjoy an exclusive extra baggage allowance. Economy class promo fares start from 1.2 million naira with an extra 23 kg baggage, while business class fares start from 4.5 million naira with an extra 32 kg baggage. Grab these special fares. Sale period extends till March 31st, 2025 and travel period valid till April 15th, 2025. Fly in style aboard our Boeing 777s with spacious seating and delightful meals. Book now at flyairpeace.com or download the Airpeace app from the Play Store or App Store. Airpeace, your peace is our goal.
Reparation for Nigerian athletes going to the civil court. I'm giving this matter very serious thought again. There have been massive reactions to my editorial last weekend titled The Plight of Retired Sports Heroes, published and read in various media. I am motivated to head to the civil courts now as a follow-up. This will sustain public attention and probably compel the federal government that will be the defendant in the matter to take the case more seriously. Once and for all, going to court will also put a seal on the matter that will be seeking judgment on the federal and state government's culpability or not in responsibility for the lives of young men and women that represent their state and country for several years, but who don't know at the time the long-term consequences of their activities and are forced to pay the price of this ignorance at the end of their short careers in sports and carry the burden for the rest of their lives. The court would declare, in this particular circumstance, the status of ignorance, whether or not in serving their country, ignorance of not knowing the health, financial, mental, and emotional consequences of doing so could be held against them and used to deny them some compensation when the challenges begin to rear their heads. Do such persons have the right to seek statutory support, care, reparation, and responsibility of the government through law? What time and the evidences before all Nigerians now reveal is the history and story of a starred and staggering number of this special group of Nigerians that come down with debilitating illnesses that can be linked to the demands of sport at a high level while serving their country, with many of them dying at young ages. The dots between sport and death can be connected. They are called neglect. Many retired sports heroes are suffering health issues directly relatable to the grinding physical, mental, and even intellectual activities they engage in whilst representing their states and the country. Should concrete and definitive welfare packages be done for them? Do they deserve government statutory involvement? Who gives up for nothing between 10 to 15 years of their most productive years through grueling physical and mental activities that damage the human anatomy? It is true that in many other sectors are persons that also work for the federal and state governments for even longer periods and suffer in their old ages as well. But do they not get compensated through some cushion of care after retirement? Civil servants, the military, even legislators and so on, all get token packages in pensions, gratuities, welfare, and so on till they die. If that is correct, why should the case of retired sportsperson not become a part of that planet that needs government's attention? Particularly also when the sector actually is a major economic contributor, unites the country like no other, provides unbridled happiness for the people, and is the biggest positive advertisement for the country. Why must this matter not be of major interest and deserve the institution of a simple panel of inquiry, an inquest, a scientific, medical, and even legal study? Why not? A litigation will actually stir up something. It will create ripples across the entire spectrum of sports, compel and enforce action once and for all. That's why going to court now is an imperative, an important step, and is seriously being considered by me on behalf of all retired sports heroes. Several years ago, I discussed this same matter with my friend, social, political, and legal activist, late Fred Agbaje. He was excited about the prospect and the storm such an action will generate not only in the legal field but also in public. We went far in researching and planning for taking the federal government to the civil courts, engaging medical expertise, and using data and physical evidence to prove our points, and hope to compel the federal and state governments to take some responsibility for the plight of retired sports heroes and do something about it. Unfortunately, Fred died, and the fire to go on was temporarily quenched. Since then, things have even become worse. More deaths and ill health can be traced directly to the consequences of intensive physical, mental, and even spiritual activities of high-level sports, leading to ill health in the latter part of life and to premature death, as we now evidently can see in data and statistics. Accepting the reality of this situation is hard, but is a compelling reason why the federal government should immediately set up a panel of experts in law, science, and medicine to examine the issues thoroughly. There ought to be laws that will enshrine the welfare of retired international athletes that meet certain requirements in the Constitution of the country. There is a law compelling minimum education access for all children. Its implementation may be faulty, but the law exists and can be used at any time to enforce implementation. That's what sport needs too. Too many Nigerian retired sports heroes are suffering and dying at a young age. The evidences are all around us. We shall not tire. My thought now is to take the matter to the law courts and probably as new bills to the state and national assemblies. We can also directly go to the presidency so that our motives can be fully understood and something done as soon as possible. No one should be surprised when very soon it is reported that my colleagues and I are heading to a Nigerian civil court and without any malicious intention are seeking justice for all retired Nigerian sports heroes suffering from neglect, ill health, poverty, and early death after serving their country and states. Part 2. Chief Olalekan Salami and I. A gentleman greeted me at a party in Ibadan last week. He has been a regular reader of everything that I write and publish since my Ibadan days as a football player. Then he shocked me with a question. Why have I never written about Chief Olalekan Salami and my relationship with him? Can it be true? I've kept a regular newspaper column since I was an active football player in 1978. His question was indeed a great shock. Chief Lekon Salami was actually at the foundation of my rise in football in Ibadan, where my story all started. He actually convinced me to join Shooting Stars FC. He was a mentor and a very big influence in my life during my playing career. He bought me my first car, sold me the first land I owned in Ibadan. It was at his party in his house that I met Chief Ebenezer Obi for the first time, and our relationship that night may have precipitated the song he sang in my praise that has remained evergreen till this day. Chief Lekon Salami played a big role in my football career, probably more than anybody else in my life. So why have I not written anything about him? I've been thinking and searching through my mind for the answer. One thing is sure. In my autobiography, when I eventually get to write one, Chief Lekon Salami and our relationship will occupy a whole chapter. He convinced me to join Shooting Stars FC, and so on and so forth. He helped me to buy my first car, sold me my first plot of land. He stopped me from heading to a South American country when I was sought for to play professionally there. He hid the letter of their request from me and only told me years later about it. We were close throughout my football career, only to fall apart when I chose to retire from my position as manager of Shooting Stars after only 1 year on the job that I was not cut out for. When John Masterudes wanted to initiate a professional career for me with Panathinaikos FC in Greece, I learned later that Chief wanted him to stay away. When I was to go for trials at Tottenham Hotspurs in London, Chief Salami supported Chief Kujo Alakija, the team manager of the Green Eagles at the time, MD of Mandela's Motors, to make the connections and to provide my ticket to London. What happened when I arrived in London is a story that I shall share in my biography. Of course, Chief Lekon Salami was the spirit behind Shooting Stars FC, its history and its achievements. Through the greatest period of the club's achievements, we were together. Thinking about it all now, indeed, it is shocking to realize he has not featured much in my writings in football. The only assurance I can give the gentleman that met me in Ibadan and stirred the dust is that with the grace of the Creator of the universe upon my life, I'm already embarking on my next book, and Chief Lekon Salami's story will be a major feature.